Hello and welcome to Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I am Umar Rusanda Amadou. Coming up. Parliament's Appointments Committee finally vests Supreme Court Justice Aka Buafo.
Amount to misconduct, but should that misconduct, depending on the facts, be the basis for removal? In other jurisdictions, judges may receive a reprimand. Some may receive you writing an apology. Some may receive counseling. So I think that yes, depending on the fact.
Also, National Intelligence Bureau (NIB) by a court order destroyed 3.3 tons of cocaine intercepted in Cape Coast.
It is not fair to the country. We will not stand idly by and allow them to bring in these illicit drugs to destroy our future leaders. From next month, we'll be conducting special operations and we'll go after them.
Moa East Municipal Assembly rules out support for flood victims who were found in waterways.
Anybody who is being affected and still lives on waterway will not get anything from us. We advise them to leave the waterways. So if you have put your burden on the waterways and there is a rain, how do you expect the water to go?
3-day agri fair by Channel 1 Television kicks off at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra.
I think the prices are cool compared to what I buy around and even what I get from the market. I'm sure I've saved about 200 cedis, and I like the fact that the things are very fresh and I can trust the source. If I go and there's anything wrong, I can always come back to them.
And in business, Fitch Solutions revises Ghana's GDP growth. And in sports, Black Queens set for final friendly ahead of the WAFCON. Now, the Appointments Committee of Parliament has today vetted a Justice of the Supreme Court nominee, Justice Kweku T. Aka Buafo. The committee was scheduled to vet him 2 days earlier, but there was a petition brought against him, which petition has since been dismissed by the House of Parliament, paving the way for the Appointments Committee to vet him. Let's go to Parliament now for more.
The final vetting of one of the 7 justices nominated to the Supreme Court in April by President John Mahama took place today at Parliament House. Supreme Court nominee Justice Teria Akabuafo, the last of the 7 nominees, appeared before the Appointments Committee to respond to their questions. During his vetting, Justice Akabuafo called for clearer legal definitions of the phrase stated misbehavior as captured in Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. According to him, it is time for the country to provide unambiguous grounds for the removal of the Chief Justice. His remarks come in the wake of the controversial removal process involving suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu.
Amount to misconduct, but should that misconduct, depending on the facts, be the basis for removal? In other jurisdictions, judges may receive a reprimand. Some may receive you writing an apology. Some may receive counseling. So I think that yes, depending on the facts, the misconduct will be established. But would that amount to a misconduct that leads to a removal? It's another matter. Thank you.
The Supreme Court nominee also cautioned against the indiscriminate proliferation of institutions providing professional legal education in Ghana, even as he acknowledged the significant shortage of lawyers in the country. Justice Akabuafo further advocated for the Ghanaian judiciary to become literate in artificial intelligence and other emerging technological tools as parts of efforts to keep pace with global developments in legal practice.
I highly recommend the judiciary to be AI literate. The judiciary of Ghana must endeavor to make the judiciary AI literate. because that is the new trend. However, we need to be very careful engaging this, because if we are all literate and as to how it operates, then we are in the front end, and then we'll be able to know the dangers associated with it. Many countries like Canada and UK have guidelines for judges. And so once I recommend that AI literacy should be embraced by the judiciary, then we'll be required to have guidelines to guide judges.
Well, the much expected and anticipated agri fair organized by Channel 1 Television has kicked off here at the Children's Park, the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra. The 3-day event is expecting to have tens of thousands of patrons who come to buy goods from the farm gate essentially that has been brought here. And exhibitors are cashing in big and showcasing all the products that they have. This event is an annual event which we are organizing for you and bringing it to you here from the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. I'll be moving in to talk to the people who are exhibiting at the stands and also people who are buying. But before then, let me speak to this member of parliament. He is a member of the Agri Committee of Parliament. He is a member of parliament for an agrarian constituency. Zebila. Honorable Ndebila, you're welcome to Channel 1 Newsroom.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, you have come here. I'm sure have you moved around? What do you see?
Yeah, I've moved around. I've seen various products being displayed by various institutions and individuals. Yeah.
Did you like what you saw? What in particular excited you?
Yeah, I'm so much excited because what excites me most is seeing people bringing their products and then showing it out to the world that this is what we have available. More particularly, we went to the prison's stand, the prison service stand, and what we saw there was amazing. They are into animal production and crop production. And what they tell us is that they even use that to supplement the feeding that they get from the government. So that is something that is of a serious...
Let me segue into something that you have been quoted also as saying. You talk about challenges with food production in the north. What's your message or what's your statement?
I think the main challenge of food production in the north is climate change. Climate change has impacted negatively on food production in the north. When it comes to, because of climate change, it has altered the seasons for production, and the times that people used to produce has shifted because the rains delay. And you now produce, if a crop that is taking about 3 months to mature, you produce it because the rains have delayed and you are starting it late, then in 2 months the rains stop, and then you're in trouble. And so that is something that is very key to me, that I think that we as a government and as individuals, we have to begin to think through and look at how best we can promote, and then look at more adaptive measures, adaptation strategies that we can employ to ensure that the people of the north continue to produce food sufficiently to take care of themselves. And what we should know is that the north produce about almost 50% of the food products that we produce or we eat in this country. And so it is very important, it's imperative on government and all individuals that have concern in food production to be concerned, so that we begin to look at adaptive measures that we can employ, such as irrigation facilities that can help people to continue to do production even in the dry season. But currently in the north we have only one rainy season, and that is seriously impacting the food that we produce.
The past administration told us that in order to ensure food production in the north is sustained, they are going to do dams in villages, and they are going to ensure that all the measures have been put in place. Are you saying that the one village, one dam, for instance, and the one district, one warehouse have not materialized in your region and maybe your constituency, where we should not be worried about food production?
Unfortunately, I think this one village, one dam thing is something that we have heard. It hasn't actually, I've not actually seen any meaningful dam. I'm just trying to paraphrase the words of the former Special Initiatives Minister, who said that the money they gave her was not enough to be able to construct any meaningful dam. That 250,000 Ghana cedis, it's not enough to be able to construct any meaningful dam. And so most of the dam, the one village, one dam thing that they constructed was like dugouts, which easily dries up. In fact, when the rain stops, within less than a month, and then the whole place is dried up. And so that I don't see that one as a...
You are a member of this government, this Mahama government. what should he do to solve the climate issues arising from the north so that we have food production to the maximum?
Yes, so that is why this government, realizing this serious challenge, is adopting what we call the Valley for dry season, supporting communities to have mechanized boreholes that will promote dry season farming. That's a very key challenge. That's a very key strategy that will help in bridging the gap such that people will have regular water to produce even in the dry season. It is also very key that we're also introducing what we call the mechanized district irrigation program that is going to help in drip irrigation. It will help communities have drip facilities that will help them to continue to produce even in the dry season. All these things are going to help in continuous production, not just one off season, but a continuous production. But not only that one, we're going to have the farmer centers, where we're going to have mechanized farm machines, and even farm inputs like fertilizer, improved seeds that will help farmers produce very good seed, crops that can help feed the nation. So these are all things or strategies that government is putting in place to ensure that we have an all year round farming and we have production that will be sustainable to be able to feed the nation.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. So that's Honorable Ndebila. He is NDC Member of Parliament for Zebila in the Upper East Region, speaking to us here at the agri fair organized by Channel 1 Television, happening at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamado. This is Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Let's now hear from some exhibitors who have come here to exhibit at this particular fair, the 3-day fair that we have organized at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. Farm Vanderville. That's the name of the place I am coming to.
You're welcome to Farm Vanderville. It's a German kind of, name. I got it from my grandfather.
What do you do? What do you farm?
So basically, we do farming. We're into farming, but we specify around the areas of, let's say, aquaculture, backyard garden. That's urban farming. Then we do a little bit of poultry and livestock. As you can see, we also do school farm projects and then a bit of consultancy. People want to use small spaces in their home as well. We also engage them. So we also sell seeds, seedlings, and a bit of farm tools as well. Yeah, that's what we do.
So what do you have here? What are some of the things you have?
We have the leafy vegetables like kale, lettuce, and then tree crops. We have even apples. Apples grow here in Ghana. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I've never heard that. I've never believed
the
it.
apple tree.
So I can plant this in my house?
Of course. And we have strawberry as well.
Oh, really?
So, yes, strawberry also grows here in Ghana. And then when you come towards this side, you have the seeds. So every seed you need from the like vegetable seeds, we have them as well. Cabbage, carrots, herbs and spices. All the leafy vegetables we have here as well.
So are you suggesting that I can have a strawberry plantation or an apple plantation here in Ghana?
Yes, you can definitely have it in here in Ghana. It's been tropicalized. We brought it from Kenya.
But how has patronage been for you here?
For today, it's been great. It's been great. I think the awareness and then the advert went on so well on TV and then on radio. So I think they're really patronizing. We wish that you do repeat this maybe once in every 3 months or even at the end of every month. I mean,
you'll be ready to do that.
We'll be ready.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So that's Farm Vanderville. He has just spoken to us there about what he has on offer. For more extensive coverage of the Agri Fair, let me cross over to my colleague Nilate, who has a summary of the day's event for us.
It wasn't a market day at Asasewa, but a market day right here in the national capital, Accra. On Friday, Channel 1 Television decided to bring together all the players in the country's agricultural value chain. Think of farmers, think of entrepreneurs, agri-tech innovators. We had researchers, processors. The financiers were here as well, and of course the lovers of good food and fresh produce. They were all here at the Agri Fair for the country's agricultural diversity, and the focus, or if you like, the mantra was from the farm to the table. So let me give you an idea of what we had here. We had tomatoes, onions, cassava, yam, plantain, livestock, fish, meat, eggs, poultry, and what have you. So let me now give you a sense of, the kind of vendors we have here as well and try to engage them right about now.
Smartly Trust Ghana Limited at the agri fair. Yes, we are into the production and exportation of vegetables. We have okra, tomato, cabbage, all sorts of vegetables. As you can see, we have sold out everything and there are people in queue. So the fair has really met our expectations, and we encourage people at home to come and buy. We've brought the market here, so come and buy whatever you need for the weekend.
Purchases have been overwhelmed so far, and I think it's one of the best exhibitions of in an agri sector.
So it's just day one. What are we likely to see in the next 2 days?
Seriously, my team and I are just wondering what we are going to do in day 2. Considering today is Friday, Saturday weekend, then we have to prepare.
Interesting spot, and you may be wondering why men in uniform are participating in the Agri Fair 2025. This is the stand of the Ghana Prison Service, and they are also exhibiting and selling exactly what and why you are here to find out.
Even having cabbage, lettuce, and carrots. You see, we also have sheep and goats also at our stand. We also have pigs also in our stand. We also have rabbits also in our stands. It's very unfortunate that the period was so short. We couldn't bring all the things that we produce, but the little that we have even brought it so that people will know that it's not only keeping up the image, but we also do a whole lot of things. We are into aquaculture production. We are into catfish and tilapia also production. The duration that we got to know of the fair was very short, but we could see that once we even came and exhibit our product, people have even gotten to know that it's not only keeping up the image that we have been doing. So this one is also a way of even telling the public that we also do farming in order to generate a little this thing for the system and closing the funding gap.
Let me engage some patrons who participated in the first day of the Agri Fair 2025. A lot rushing to get food items to take home. This is what is happening at the Agri Fair 2025. I can see a lot of people here. I just want to find out from them what exactly they are buying. And so the farm gate has been brought right to your doorstep. Madam, what are you buying?
I'm buying some tomatoes, shallots, sweet potatoes, and cabbage. I think they look good and the prices are cheaper than you normally find in the market.
The Feed Ghana is about feeding ourselves, feeding the industry, and then exporting the rest. And we're feeding ourselves, we just want to produce more food. And always there are excesses, and the excesses is what we push to the industries to add value. And then after that we export. And so it's a good time to be a farmer. It's a good time to be in the agro-business space in Ghana.
Find the prices and the quantity with which you were served with.
I think the prices are cool compared to what I buy around and even what I get from the market. I'm sure I've saved about 200 cedis, and I like the fact that the things are very fresh and I can trust the source. If I go and there's anything wrong, I can always come back to them.
There was support from development partners and corporate sponsors, many of whom believe in agriculture as a driver of the economic transformation of the country. They were also here to exhibit and sell. Let's find out what some of them had on display. So this is Legacy Crop Improvement Center, correct? Empowering Ghana's seed industry, and we are one of our sponsors for this year's, Agri Fair. How does this fair also fit in your business objectives?
Okay, so Legacy is a seed business entity which we produce seeds such as maize, cowpea, and we have our newest varieties in vegetables, that's pepper and okra. And this year, we try to come to Agri Fair to exhibit what we have at Legacy Square to Efua Sandalat Park.
Sponsors here, Agri Impact Group Limited, and they are here. I can see that their boxes are empty. You came with quite a number of things. You've sold out. How did that happen?
Okay, I think this program has been very successful. We've been participating in other fairs or other exhibitions, but I think today's one is exceptional. Comparing that the quantity we estimated it was for 3 days. Like the quantity we bought was for the whole 3 days, but just today everything has finished and we've called for reorder. So it has been so good. Yeah.
The first day is just the beginning.
I mean, look, Friday we didn't know we'd get this number of people. We felt that, well, people are working and stuff. But Charlie, it's in the afternoon on Friday and we have a very good crowd. Some of the vendors are like, Charlie, we didn't know we'd get this many patrons. So they are bringing more food. It's great. It's going so well. The place is big. People are excited. We are looking forward to tomorrow. Because a lot of those who are not able to come today, in fact, a lot of people have threatened that they will come again. Because some wanted some things that they said they will bring tomorrow.
For food and agriculture, what was that key message to government in terms of helping farmers to scale up production and also agri investments?
You see, somebody said, make America great again. Make agri great again. That's the message. Let's make agri like the days of Achampong. Proud to be farmers. Develop the value chain. Support the farmers. Give them markets. Develop the infrastructure. Give them finance.
The 2025 Agri Fair is powered by Channel 1 TV. It is sponsored by Exim Bank, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, Development Bank Ghana, Agri Impact Group, Farmerline, Horticulture Business Platform, and Twillium Industrial Company. The 2025 Agri Fair is already living up to expectations. And on Friday, Efua Sutherland Children's Park became a microcosm of the food systems that we have here in the country. And you know what? It's just the first day. So if you couldn't join us today, you have Saturday, you have Sunday as well to join us. Reporting from the Efua Sutherland Children's Park, I am Neil Atilati for Channel 1 News.
Now, the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, has by a court order destroyed 3.3 tons of cocaine intercepted in a tipper truck at Cape Coast en route to Accra in March this year. The substance, which is valued at approximately $350 million, was seized and confirmed in the presence of the justice in charge of the trial, as well as officials from the National Narcotics Control Commission and the National Investigative Bureau. There's more in this report.
The highly secured destruction exercise took place in the presence of key stakeholders, including representatives from the Narcotic Controls Commission, NACOC, the Office of the Attorney General, and legal counsel for the accused persons. As part of the procedure, fresh samples of the narcotics were tested once more before the bulk was incinerated. Addressing journalists at the event, Director General of NACOC, Brigadier General Maxwell Obubamante, emphasized that the process was part of efforts to ensure transparency and accountability in the country's fight against drug trafficking.
It is not fair to the country. We will not stand idly by and allow them to bring in these illicit drugs to destroy our future leaders. From next month, we'll be conducting special operations and we'll go after them. I will hope that you cooperate with us, you assist us as much as possible so that I can bring them to the public view, for them to be named and shamed. This cannot continue in our lovely country. We need peace, security, and a healthy state.
In addition to the cocaine, other confiscated narcotic and pharmaceutical products, including several cartons of codeine, were also destroyed. NACOC further underscored the need for sustained vigilance, especially at Ghana's alternate entry points, to disrupt the operations of transnational drug networks.
I don't want to accept the fact that our country is a transit point for cocaine. But the only disadvantage that we have is that Ghana has 3 entry posts so far as our location or geographical location is concerned. We have the sea entry post, the air entry post, and then the land entry post. Some countries, they have only two. They have the air and the land. Fortunately and unfortunately, we have three. So, whether you like it or not, you may be finding some people, the recalcitrant one for that matter, finding their way into our jurisdiction. But the good thing is that we are not asleep. Whatever angle that they use, we are ready. This 350 million worth of cocaine, it was loaded in this tipper truck with, which is used in carrying sand. And they loaded sand on top. So it needs intelligence to be able to intercept such a thing. If not, it will just pass through and go away and then go and dump it somewhere and then they'll start taking it off.
Meanwhile, the accused persons, Isaac Kwaku, Kenneth Kopena, and Mauko Kudofia, are currently standing trial at the Accra High Court. Intelligence operations are ongoing to track and apprehend additional suspects believed to be linked to the drug syndicate.
Given the magnitude of a recent cocaine bust, many believe Ghana is fast becoming a transit point for the trading and trafficking of illicit drugs. But NACOC disagrees. The commission says it remains resolute in cracking down on activities of illegal drug trafficking and trading. Reporting for Channel 1 News from the Bundas military base, Fauzu Masaudu.
You're still watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 television. To some other stories now. The Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Tong Defa, has stated that illegal small-scale mining, commonly known as galamsey, cannot be completely eradicated from Ghana's extractive landscape. Instead, he is urging the government and stakeholders to adopt a long-term policy framework that addresses the root causes of environmental degradation linked to the activity. Addressing the media, Ambassador Defa called for a pragmatic, multi-sectorial solution that takes into account the realities on the ground.
I do not know what's the reason why when people say galamsey, they normally equals that with Chinese. But actually it is not Chinese who, it's the issue is not originated from Chinese. I mean, you can see those mining, Chinese people cannot get the license, cannot get the permit. It's the Ghanaian people who draw Chinese people over here, and some of those people who are even caught red-handed, even though they are caught red-handed, they are just, they're just some like migrant workers to come here to make a living. I'm not treated well because they always say, because I have a social media, when I posted X on my social media, then people say, hey, Ambassador, galamsey. It seems, galamsey is caused by China. So this is unfair to me. Am I correct? This is unfair to me. This is really unfair to me.
Now, government has announced a 1 billion Ghana cedi budget for retooling of all security agencies. This was made known after 11 security agencies under the Ministry of Interior made a 1 million cedi donation to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. Channel 1 News' presidential correspondent, Akosia Autry, has more.
Senior security officers, including the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak and his deputy Okliti Telabi, announced their contributions towards the fund as a step to provide financial support for people suffering from chronic diseases.
The police have contributed 580,000 Ghana cedis, immigration 100,000, the Minister of the Interior contributed 50,000. The Deputy Minister of Interior contributed 30,000. And then the Small Arms Commission, they also contributed 10,000. So in all, we have 1,002,000 being the total contribution.
President John Mahama directed the commencement of the collection of 1 month's salaries from appointees towards the Mahama case.
Happily, my salary has started coming, so I'll soon present my own check, to cover the pledge that I made. And I've asked the Chief of Staff's office and the Special Advisor on Governmental Affairs to start the collection of the 1 month salary pledge from all political appointees, ministers, and appointees at the presidency. And so we will contribute our quota. We also will have a nice ceremony like this and we will give our donation to the Minister of Health.
He also revealed that Cabinet has approved the bill for transmission to Parliament.
I'm happy to say only yesterday, Cabinet approved the bill for onward transmission to Parliament. So once Parliament passes it into law, then it opens the way for us to appoint the trustees. And we're going to appoint independent trustees, people who are distinguished and well recognized in this country, to administer the fund.
Government has also taken a keen interest in resourcing the security agencies to deliver timely results.
I managed to squeeze the Minister of Finance hand behind his back, and we'll get a budget of 1 billion cedis for retooling of your various services. Fire service needs fire equipment urgently. Let me say, I empathize with my sister here. When the fire service arrives late, people get angry, but they just don't have the fire tenders. And so one of the priorities will be to get some new fire tenders for you. Yeah. The police have to confront armed robbers every day, and you don't expect them to do it in light-skinned vehicles.
You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. We take a break now. When we come back, Fitch Solutions revises Ghana's GDP growth.
To get polytank.
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
No, I want to left, right.
And that's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Oh no! I beg, na here. Mr. Polytank at all. And you think I'm in your bed to put your never head. Oh, food to be here. Enjoy your craft.
Akuya bulambo kotoman.
Like they take to buy so. Go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. Polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank, Papananka Sankasa.
She's coming.
She's coming.
Oh, it's in. But now it's in now.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. It's now time for CNR Business with Nashika Caesar.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and Ecobank.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees emergency. Mommy, chop money emergency. Emergency. Catch it. I'm your rent emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, more
more money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for all your money emergencies and chop life.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and get easy and quick access to your money, loans, and other banking needs. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, welcome to Channel 1 Business, proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. Fitch Solutions has upgraded Ghana's 2025 real economic growth forecast from 4.2% to 4.9%, following stronger than expected first quarter results. According to data released by the Ghana Statistical Service on June 6, 2025, real GDP growth accelerated from 3.6% year-on-year in the fourth quarter of 2024 to 5.3% in the first quarter of 2025. This outperformed Fitch Solutions' earlier projection, which had anticipated growth to remain near 3.5%. The robust performance in the first quarter was largely driven by increased agricultural output, particularly in crop production and fishing. The mining and quarrying sector also showed improvement compared to the previous quarter, despite ongoing challenges in the hydrocarbon sector. This suggests growing momentum in gold extraction, supported by elevated gold prices. Additionally, a pickup in domestic trade contributed to the overall economic expansion, reflecting in a rise in consumer activity across the country. Now, the Bank of Ghana is calling for stronger integration of cybersecurity protocols across the financial sector, with an emphasis on cross-border collaboration to address growing risk. The central bank's position follows an uptick in cybersecurity threats, which it identifies as a constraint to advancing financial inclusion. Here is Dr. Zakari Mumuni speaking on behalf of the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Isiama.
Speaking on behalf of the Governor at the 2025 African Financial Inclusion Policy Initiative meetings, First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakari Mumuni said, coordinated efforts are required to mitigate the impact of cybersecurity risks on financial systems.
Cybersecurity threats do not respect borders. No country, however advanced, can confront them alone. That is why regional coordination through platforms like AFI are indispensable. Through peer learning, harmonized supervision, and shared intelligence, we are building a collective response that reflects our unique regional realities. We must continue to invest in common frameworks for early warning and incident reporting, scenario-based preparedness exercises, and proportionate regulation for fintechs and e-money providers. We also must have cooperative cross-border response mechanisms.
Executive Director of the Alliance for Financial Inclusion on his part stressed the need for cybersecurity resilience to protect the vulnerable in the society.
We do recognize that the rise, especially of digital payments and transfers, has been one of the key developments that actually has been driving the rapid increase of access and usage on the continent. However, we also realize that there are risks of technologies. Technologies comes with risks, which, as you all know, could have dramatic consequences, especially for the vulnerable. Because if you don't get it right, poor people can lose the little they have in just one day. So I think this is why we're here, to discuss how we can turn this development into a very positive development with regards to increased access and usage of financial services.
The 14th annual roundtable of the leaders of the African Financial Inclusion Policy Initiative meetings brought together key financial sector players across the sub-region to discuss measures to promote financial inclusion and combat cybersecurity risks.
Let's now take you to the interbank market to see how the various trading currencies are performing.
Officials of the Goma East District Assembly in the Central Region have cautioned that support will not be rendered to persons whose buildings are situated in waterways in the event of flooding. The decision, according to the Goma East Municipal Assembly and Member of Parliament Desmond de Graft Spetu, is to discourage people from building in waterways. Several communities in the district suffered heavy flooding following a 3-day rainfall which affected over 1,000 residents. Channel 1 News' Central Regional Correspondent is Akwesiado.
Communities such as Fete Kakraba, Apra, Obolo Estate, Mamfam, Nyenyano, Kakraba, and Gomwafete were inundated after days of torrential rainfall, displacing hundreds of residents. The floodwaters also caused the collapse of several residential buildings, leaving affected families devastated and in urgent need of help.
This rain has been a typical surprise to the community, and those whose houses are below are all affected.
The Gomwa East Office of the National Disaster Management Organization NADMO says its preliminary assessment shows that over 1,350 people were affected, with 6 buildings collapsing due to the flooding. Hassan Hamidu, director of NADMO in Gomwa East, spoke to Channel 1 News about the extent of the damage.
Gomwa East, the victims, 1,300 and something, and still counting. The drainage system that is giving us that headache because most people have built on a waterway.
To support the victims, Member of Parliament for Gomwa East, Desmond de Graft Spetu, has provided relief items and offered temporary shelter to those whose homes were completely destroyed. But the MP has issued a stern warning. Residents who continue to live in or build on waterways will not receive government support in the event of another disaster.
Anybody who is being affected and still lives on waterway will not get anything from us. We advise them to leave the waterways. So if you have put your burden on the waterways and there is a rain, how do you expect the water to go? Even when we come and build it for you today, tomorrow and there is rain, it will still come and destroy it. Yesterday we saw the rain. We don't know what tomorrow is going to be. Maybe it might be bigger than what has happened before, and it will be at midnight. Who is coming to your aid? It means we will lose you.
Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Gisela Tete, also weighed in, attributing the recent floods across parts of the country to a combination of poor sanitation, unregulated construction, and building in natural water retention zones.
The abuse of people building in waterways is becoming more rampant. The way the development controls are not properly being instituted in the district assemblies is also a major problem. So there's really a lot that we have to do to get it. Otherwise, we will keep on spending money on flood controls, building drains here and all that, and the problem is still. And then the last one is sanitation, waste disposal. The gutter of the drain has been built for water, not for waste.
For Channel 1 News, I am Akwesiado, Gomwa Buduburam, Central Region.
Now, residents and commercial drivers using the Ejisu Onwe Road in the Ejisu municipality of the Ashanti region are calling on the government to urgently address the poor state of the road. Years of neglect have led to severe dust, pollution, and worsening conditions during the rainy season following abandonment of the road by contractors. The following report has more.
In 2024, government initiated rehabilitation works on major roads within the Ejisu municipality, including the Ejisu Onwe stretch. But a year on, the project has stalled, with contractors leaving the site, leaving residents and road users to bear the brunt of deteriorating conditions. The Ejisu Onwe Road serves as a key link connecting communities such as Isienimpong to Lake Busomche and other adjoining areas. Residents say the deplorable road is not only disrupting their daily lives, but also affecting their livelihoods.
Just so, let's say 3 to 5, you could see a long queue over there due to the nature of the road. The drivers are charging overboard, which is not acceptable.
From 2 o'clock,
line it me taxi for say any trotro for say kwan ni ntino omo ntimi e man tentem ana e kwan ni ntino say omo cars no to bi wo kra na on pese obetu ne car e de aba sometimes no also po mo chewa tina am hope say kwan we dey say bibia anye like omo anye kwan na by the end of the year
Some commercial drivers say the cost of constant vehicle repairs due to the bad road is eroding their daily earnings.
Yeah, quite the higher the way and car spare parts. Unko ha wazoba pung nebu. The nyamwana so ya kwana ma dia anke yesu ani beje.
I say my mazoba abu amo makoto fufro ya kwan we anti. Karaban na wabarin de ye ka bibia mana tiase se wabaron so edwuma padia ohwe no nye kwan mai.
In response, Member of Parliament for Ejiso constituency Kwabena Boateng has assured residents and drivers that he will push for the contractor to return to site and lobby the government for urgent intervention.
For the state of the road now is beyond the word bad. Of course, to the contractor who is in charge of this road, which is Kofi Joe. Once a while they would water it. Once a while we also take steps to get it watered, but for how long? The ultimate solution is for the road to be asphalted. I've had a word with the regional chairman of the NDC. The last time I met the regional minister, I also told him. Fortunately, recently we also had an MCE, and I've also informed her that we're on top of the list priority right now has to do with the Donaso, Onye, to a ceiling pond, to Lake Road. You can see the state of it, the dust, even as we are standing here. So that is the ultimate solution, is for the asphalting to be done.
Now, as Ghana grapples with environmental pollution and devastation of water resources, some 30 youth groups from Sekende Takrade in the western region received $80,000 to innovate projects to help combat climate change concerns, flooding and environmental pollution in the city that contribute in negative climate change impacts. The project that will, among other innovations, also target water purification due to galamsey pollution was made possible by the Sekende Takrade Metropolitan Assembly in collaboration with Bloomberg Philanthropies of United States. Channel 1 News' Akwesi Ejenim has more.
The Youth Climate Action Fund is an initiative by Bloomberg Philanthropies in partnership with United Cities and local governments and the Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation at Johns Hopkins University. It encourages youth in cities to lead climate action, developing innovative ideas that will combat the impact of climate change.
This project is one of the innovative interventions that Sekende Takrade has initiated to address climate change, particularly flooding, waste management, pollution, and then the emission of greenhouse gases. So we as an assembly, Sekende Takrade Metropolitan Assembly, we write a proposal to Bloomberg Philanthropies, and based on the merit of our application, we are selected and awarded some amount. Last year we won $50,000, which was awarded to young people, 9 young people in the metropolis.
Currently, we are all aware of the consequences of climate change and its effects on our socio-economic life. Now, if you come to our metropolis here, you can see the consequences visibly. The flooding, the coastal erosions, the withering away of green spaces and all these things. These are things that are contributing to the climate change.
The purpose of our of the project is to educate the community leaders and the community as a whole on the local impact on climate change and the actions. We are going to train them on what's not to do on climate change and actions to take, like planting trees, ways to avoid flooding, sea rise temperatures and all that.
For Channel 1 TV News, I'm Akwesi Ejenim, Sekende.
You are still on Channel 1 television. This is Channel 1 Newsroom. I am Umaru Sandamadu. still ahead. Black Queens set for final friendly ahead of the WAFCON.
My name is Lydia Safwa. I'm from Safusco Ghana Limited. I'm the managing director for the company. I'll commend MasterCard Foundation and Absa Bank for the 10% loan for women-led businesses and agri-businesses, because this facility came in at the right time for Safusco. The facility helped us to get machinery for our detergent powder and other raw materials to help us come out with 3 products. That's the detergent powder, the African black soap, and the bleach. We're able to employ 15 youth in addition to our working force, and this has really helped boost our productivity and revenue as well. Annually, we organize the Global Hand Washing Day in schools within our vicinity. We hope to make sure that Safusco helps to combat diseases from the schools. We are trying to have volunteers within the school. Those volunteers will help make sure that the project is being sustained in the school.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety should not be too far-reaching. It should be as easy as ABC. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response One.
We were held at gunpoint in our own home, and they got away with it.
We didn't have Response One back then. That was the most terrifying experience of our lives.
But after that, we subscribed to Response One to ensure that never happens again. The last time the hoodlums tried, we had installed Response One monitored alarm system. Their response team arrived, followed by the police, to ensure we are safe.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response One's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response One. Stay connected, stay protected.
Imagine waking up to serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate you can be proud to call your home. Welcome to Western Villas, located at Mensa, where our stunning homes redefine elegance. At Western Villas, each home is a masterpiece, designed with precision and love. From swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscaped gardens and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive plots for sale at MacArthur Hill, strategically located and offer unparalleled views, easy access to amenities, and endless possibilities for executive living. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today to learn more about our luxury homes at Mensa or executive plots at MacArthur Hill. Call us now on 0536 502295 or visit www.westernvillas.com for more information.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we are there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
It's now time for CNR Sports, and we have Bernard Abekwachi.
While Ghana's Black Queens continue their build-up to the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations with 3 more friendlies lined up. The team faces Malawi on June 21, Botswana on June 25, and Nigeria on June 29. The Women's African Cup of Nations kicks off in Morocco from July 5 to 26 with 12 teams in contention. Botswana and Nigeria, both Group B opponents, have already qualified, whilst Ghana prepare under head coach Kimlas Bjergren. Recent friendly games featured a strong local league presence, but Ghana's final squad includes just 4 home-based players, with the majority coming from abroad. Elsewhere, Kumasi and Asante Kotoko have confirmed the departure of 5 players, just days after lifting the 2025 MTN FA Cup. The Porcupine Warriors edged Golden Kicks 2-1 at the University of Ghana Stadium to clinch the title and secure a place in next season's CAF Confederations Cup. Despite the highs, the club has moved swiftly to reshape its squad. Contracts with Nigerian midfielder Fernando Wisdombasi, Samson Edoku, and Daniel Adrien Ajete have been mutually terminated. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Frederick Asari and Michael Chedramina exit after their contracts were not renewed.
Well, that's it for Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I am Omar Rusandamado. Thank you so much for watching us.
Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to Sister right here on your favorite TV channel, Channel 1 TV. And if you're listening, it's your favorite radio station, City 97.3 FM. And of course, it's me, your favorite host, bringing you the most when it comes to relationships, Chris Carter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually very excited to be here because your letters are already in here. And we are going to be reading the letters soon. And I say we because I don't do this alone. I do this with the sisters. But if you're joining us for the first time, you're wondering, she's talking about letters, she's talking about reading the letters with the sisters. Well, this is the longest running relationship show. And of course, how do you send in your issues when it comes to relationships? You send it via letters. And these letters are sent via sisterislive@gmail.com. And we get to read them right here on the show. And of course, we try to help you find solutions around this problem, so how to manage them. And definitely you'll be thanking us when the show ends. But before I introduce the sisters, I'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors. Gino, thank you for holding us down. If you're thinking of cooking rice, you have Gino rice. If you're thinking of making your favorite stews and sauces, we have Gino tomato paste. In fact, you should be cooking with everything Gino. If you're not cooking with everything Gino, I'm asking, what are you even cooking? Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get straight into the letters of the day. And of course, you'll get to meet the sisters.